What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Ross the Boss coming at you with an all-new Let's Play Europa Universalis 4. As you can see here, we are still in the Austrian-Augsburgian Nationalist War. And of course, that is going to end fairly soon. My plan is still the same. As soon as our coalitions end, I do expect to be able to take over Mali, Katsina, Yao, and possibly even Tunisia. Right now, we're making 31 ducats every single turn. Another country, Aachen here, has given a separate piece to Austria. And very soon, you know, I don't know if I'm really going to be attacking France. My entire goal would be to take over Africa and India. I only have about 90 years left in this campaign. So if we're going to do this, we'll need to do this right. Where exactly do we stand right now? It might be in our best interest to go ahead and pursue a war against Vijayanagar. But of course our coalitions should dissipate in time. Not too many aggressive expansionist countries other than the ones we've already attacked. And I don't want to lose any legitimacy, so it looks like De Jared is going to be gaining a little bit of liberty desire and less opinion of us. I just can't wait for these coalitions to end. Too many cowards, losing about 20,000 manpower. It's about a year of work. And right now, most of my troops are prepared for a war against Katsina, Mali, and Timbuktu. And it looks like we are going to pay a little bit of money, lose some prestige. But of course, we are going to gain some clergy loyalty and lose some influence, which is very nice to see indeed. Doesn't look like we're able to demand any type of support in any of our estates. And all I'm really doing is waiting for the coalitions to die down. It might be in our best interest to declare war on Tunisia. That way, we could easily wipe out... They don't have any allies, as far as I could tell. But I'm sure that the Ottomans are the defenders of the true faith. We could easily take out Tunisia, take all of their territory. Mali, Katsina, Yao, all of these smaller nations will die. I can easily defend myself against northern France, but I am a little worried about Brunei and Pasai. We do have quite a bit of troops, though, and quite a bit of missionaries. I may go ahead and try that, though it would be nice to not have to deal with two wars on two different fronts, and that probably seems like my best idea yet. We're still in the war. Once the Augsburg and Ravensburg war ends, we will go ahead and begin. We are going to send these 14 two-deckers all the way down to Spanish Malaysia. And I understand that 14 two-deckers aren't very powerful, but it might be somewhat useful. These 18,000 troops can move here. And we'll probably divvy up another 18,000 and move them to Brunei. We're about to have maximum diplomatic power. How long until we have the ability... Aha! War has been declared. They absolutely outnumber me, which is a little dangerous. We'll hopefully play our cards right and end whatever we can. You're going to go here. You're going to go here. You are going to go here. And hopefully, Austria has joined in. Tuscany has joined in. I'm a little concerned. It doesn't seem that we have too many troops up here in our north. Let's funnel our troops across the sea. Hopefully we can cross. 54,000 troops against 60,000. And it looks like we now have a brand new vassal, or at least colonial nation. The rest of my troops are on their way. You can go here, you can go here, you can go here. You probably need to retreat. I think these troops will stay. You will move up. We don't have any movement between these two nations. We don't have any units down here either, which could be a little troublesome. And it doesn't look like we have any generals, which could be troublesome as well. We already have 11% war score against France. I'm hoping Austria and Tuscany could easily handle France and Provence. I could easily handle Scotland, especially if we had some generals. Do we want Measuring the World or Archipelago Frigate? I don't believe so. How long until we're able to embrace the Enlightenment? Unfortunately, it's going to be quite some time. And just for fun, we are going to get a new leader. Maybe even one more. No, I was expecting something better than a 2-5, but I don't think that's going to happen. And if we attack in the farmlands, this is the marsh. Hopefully we can make it there first. 26th of April versus the 27th. Nope. And now we're moving our way into the farmlands. Now, we do have more discipline, we do have more morale, but unfortunately they do have a far more superior general. But I guess that doesn't seem to matter. And just like that, we are going to go ahead, probably slow down our time here, bringing us down to 2. And most likely siege down Lothian. We have a few countries that are going to be a little bit of a problem. You can move here. You can move here. We've got 18,000 troops in Yao, who are a little far away. Looks like we have sieged down a province. So now you can move to Katsina. And actually, because you have 8.2 thousand troops, that is very low for what I was expecting. And I obviously am going to want a commandant. This is going to be very expensive, but it's going to be worth our time. Having another 5% discipline is going to be the difference between life and death. Okay, Austria is doing quite well. The whole goal is to show superiority. How are the rest of my troops doing? 54,000 troops across the sea. I'm curious to see if my 14 heavies... Why do we have 18,000 troops here? We're gonna need our heavies. I'm not sure where they are at the moment. Here they are. We might also go ahead and recruit an admiral. And these ships are going to make their way over to Pasai. Try to do a little bit of blockading. And if we could somehow manage... they obviously have far more superior men than we do. But if we could somehow secure a separate peace, that would primarily be our best option. And I would like to go ahead and siege down Lothian. Unfortunately, we don't seem to have enough cannons or a good enough general. Let's create one more general. We have so many as it is. None of these have siege modifiers. Here we go. Not much better than what we have. I am very upset that we're having -5 military power every single month. But I am expecting some of these generals to die. At least that's the plan. You're going to go here, you're going to go here, continue sieging down whatever we can. Some of these ships have finished their war. Mombasa is being sieged down. How does Yao look? Straits of Gibraltar. We have lost the siege of Lyoness. All we need is for Augsburg to go ahead and give us a separate peace, and they're not doing that for some reason. And Lothian is taking their sweet time. We had a status quo last turn, It would be in our best interest to throw down a few, you know, blockades. And now we have a -1 war score, which is dangerous. Once we bring these troops across the Straits of Johor, we should be able to easily wipe out these 56,000 troops. We have won the Siege of Katsina. We are going to send all of our troops to Adir. And are there any free generals? There are. These troops can move their way into Tunisia. We are going to need some sort of general. We'll go with a 3-3. We should be easily able to wipe them out. And it looks like France is starting to turn the tide here in northern Spain. Okay, now Austria won't have to deal with Augsburg anymore. Hopefully they can focus all of their troops and send them over to where they need to be. Those troops are going to get annihilated. Mali is about to fall. Yao should fall very soon. And it looks like we are going to get a water shortage instead of a surrender. Another status quo. Tunisia about to be wiped out. We're going to send you to the capital. Looks like we did lose quite a bit of trade ships. Here comes the rest of our heavies. Oh my goodness, 115. That is quite a bit of ships. These 50 are going to make their way over as well. Do we have any others? I believe we do have some in Zanzibar. We'll move you over as well. We are going against 318 trade ships, 355,000 men. This is very dangerous indeed. I'm expecting to try to... My entire goal is for a separate peace, but unfortunately, we are just going to be losing battles from what it looks like. Hopefully with more cannons, this should be a little easier. On the 1st of December, we'll send our troops over, or at least our new ships. Repairing whatever we can. I'm hoping for the best. Our 14 heavies were very expensive. Okay, how is the rest of the world looking? And it looks like we're gonna have to... we can't go across anymore. Now because we've moved, we've gone from 86%... here we are, 99% once again. I don't think we're gonna be able to move our way across the Irish Sea. Unless we had some Genoan ships right here. We will consolidate both of these ships together, bring them all up into the Irish Sea. All of you can be moved into the Irish Sea as well. And just like that. Well, I don't know if it's going to be just like that, but we'll see. This province still hasn't fallen. More and more provinces are falling to our side. Is it possible? Negative 103, all for a separate peace here. We're going to try to burn through every single man that we have. We are going to need more ships, but I'm not really sure if that's our best option. 72,000 should easily be able to crush whatever they throw at us. And none of our ships made it to Ireland. That is very unfortunate. These ships are trade ships. Let's send you here. Try to take out whatever we can. I'm expecting Tunisia to lose this battle. Tunisia, of course, will lose a castle, which is very important to them. You need to rest for the time being. We're going to be attacking into the jungle. So now 72,000 troops versus about 78,000, but of course we do have far superior technology and far superior discipline, at least as far as I'm concerned. We should be able to shred them down. Yep, we have far superior discipline, far superior everything else. And if we can, I would like to just absolutely crush whoever we can. If we play our cards right, we might get a stack wipe. Losing 1,500 troops every single day. Boom! Got a stack wipe. We now have 10% war score. They still don't want any type of separate peace, which is understandable. You can go here. You can go here. How are the rest of our troops looking? It looks like they're retreating, surprisingly enough. Alright, we are going to separate both of these units, try to take out Mali. And because we don't have the ships to sail into Scotland, or at least Ireland, I should say, we're going to try to siege down Lothian once again. We are losing a little bit of manpower every single month that ticks by. But I am expecting to be taking down this province and easily stack wiping whatever troops are left. And all I want to do is just, you would think by the next turn we could easily win this. 14% chance of a surrender. I'm hoping for some sort of broken down walls. At least we'll see. Boom. You all are going to move here. Going to get a massive stack wipe. These troops are, once they siege down this province, they're going to murder whoever they can. Looks like we are going to have to send some troops up to France once again. Okay, wiping out troops as much as we can. One of these units is probably going to have to head down to secure whatever they can. Or maybe even 2 units. This unit can move here. This unit can move here. Our annexation of Timbuktu is going quite well. And hopefully Sirte will fall soon enough. I could go ahead and produce a few mercenaries. I'm not sure if that would be our best option either. Lothian has 8,500 troops. I don't think we're going to be assaulting them anytime soon. Okay, we have lost the siege of Auvergne, which was very dangerous. Now we don't have that mountainous province. And it looks like Djerid is about to be attacked. Hopefully Timbuktu can come to their aid. We have lost the siege of Mombasa. That is sad. You can make your way up to assist however possible. I'm keeping it on 2-speed only because I don't want to lose any decisive victories. You know, I want to be able to monitor whatever I can. I hate to do this, but we're going to consolidate... no, we're not. We're going to send all of our troops to Lisboa. All of these fleets, once they repair themselves, they're going to move on into Ireland. Oh, man, look at all of these units that we have to take out. I wonder how long until we can get a white peace. We are winning. We have a negative 70 reasons, and obviously the length of the war will go down every single month. So hopefully quite soon. Looks like we have lost a very small naval battle. Lothian is still taking damage. We are desperately going to need some assistance. Oh my goodness. When is this country gonna fall? I could go ahead and build a powerful fortress here in Fez, and I probably will, only because it is a mountainous province, and it's going to take quite some time for it to be constructed. I probably should have done the same thing with Avernia. Why isn't this province falling? I'm going to assault them. And now, we are going to move all of our troops to attack whoever we can. It's going to be a very, very bloody battle. Looks like we now have a cruel heir, or a cruel king, which is very dangerous. I don't know if I like that either. And we are taking out massive, massive militaries, which is nice to see. They'll arrive on the 16th of September. Austria is assisting us as much as possible. I wish we could get some separate pieces, but it doesn't look like we will. And it looks like Djerid lost their capital. We'll have to siege that down once again. Timbuktu being put in their place by one heavy ship, unfortunately. Hopefully this 28% chance of a surrender will hopefully tick to our side. Can we get a separate peace? Not yet. They don't want to end. How is Lothian coming? Hopefully we can get a water shortage. Supply shortage isn't bad. Looks like some of our navies are taking attrition. These units can hopefully start pursuing whatever they can. We are desperately going to need some help down on this side. I wish these 18,000 troops weren't here, but we're not going to be able to move them without transport ships. And a lot of our transport ships have been destroyed. We only have 9. I could create more. I probably should. But instead, I am going to put a cut in here. As always, thank you so much for joining me. I will see you in our next adventure.